there are also the extreme cases where men don't even want to be seen buying sanitary products.
I don't mind
Yeah,
that,
for
me as
well,
but I
yeah.
just need to know which exactly.
There's
How
so
about
the wrong
many
one,
kinds?
This is very specific. It's like, hey, this is 23. I'm like, should I go 25? Or should I go 29? Should I go lower? Should I go more?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Hi everyone, we are the men of our world and we're here to watch how to build the Singaporean woman.
You want to start?
I think women are just a bit embarrassed to talk about some of these things. There are some derogatory terms which I think really should be done away with. So for example, she's crazy because it's that time of the month. She's always on MC. I don't know whether the period pains are true or not. And of course, she's so menopausal.
Joe. Okay, but what about women that use those things themselves? Have you all come across that? I definitely have.
No.
But then again, like, has your wife? Because I know my partner has done that for me.
Yeah.
Like, don't mind me. You know, it's my time of the month. So I feel like it's very difficult for especially guys to apprehend and try to understand because, like, on one end it's offensive if we were to say it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they use it as well. So we kind of get stuck.
I think it's context. If you come from a place of understanding where it's just like, oh, I know it's the time of the month for you, it's going to be rough. Like, okay, you help out with certain things, or you are more mindful that week her moods are just not going to be the best. That's empathy, right?
We just prepared the ice cream and the chocolate cake.
Not ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream period pains, like cramps.
Okay,
Yeah.
chocolate cake.
There are also the extreme cases where men don't even want to be seen buying sanitary products.
I don't mind
Yeah,
that,
for
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
just need to know which exactly.
There's
How about
so
the wrong
many
one? This is very specific. It's like, hey, this is 23. I'm like, should I go 25? Or should I go 29? Should I go lower? Should I go more?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
And then they
Which
need
one
the
do you
thick
want?
one, they need the thick one.
Yeah.
Then there's one for sleep, one for sports,
Yeah.
one for sleeping during sports, and
No, how about like for the first 3 days, the middle one, or like the last days, it should be okay. You know, like, yeah, I'm like, wow, there's so many.
My period started to get more painful when I was in uni. First of all, like, I'm using like minimum 7 pads a day on the toilet for 1 full hour, like just bleeding there. Obviously, you were also just in pain the whole time. Like, it's not just pain here, your back also aches. Hi, I'm Bianca and I have endometriosis.
Have you seen that thing on TikTok where like the guys would try how painful it is? That this
all those
machine.
pregnancy simulator things.
No, pregnancy
All
is the period
ones,
ones, the period cramps. And no guys can ever tahan. Yeah.
I'll try it if given
Really?
the opportunity.
You would? It's like
Yeah.
a, you know, like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then suddenly and I'm like, like that. What? So, can you imagine? Anyway.
I had one hospitalization, which was a UTI and kidney infection. That was when I found out I actually had a fibroid and it was like 5-6 cm big. They suggested like perhaps I should just remove the fibroid because it could have been the cause of my UTI and also make sure that you won't get kidney infections again. When he came out, he was just like, oh my god, like your uterus was stuck to your large intestines and then like it was like a wall, and he said like his eyes were tearing up from like lasering everything. I think medical practice in general, even for gynecologists, male or female, they can still be dismissive about what women suffer from. And it's very strange because endometriosis is fairly common. It's not 1 in 100,000 or 1 in a million. It's 1 in 10 that's very common, right?
1 in 10.
I feel like for a woman, you would probably be more comfortable seeing a woman, right?
My wife
Yeah.
prefers male doctor throughout pregnancy
Why is that?
because she had a bad experience with a female doctor. It can also goes both ways. When my wife was like, oh, I feel like I'm a little bit this or that, it's like, oh, nothing. That's nothing. I've gone through it. You'll be fine.
I believe that you don't need to be a pilot to know whether. I mean, you don't need to be able to fly the helicopter and to be a pilot to know if the person is flying it properly or not.
Regardless, male or female, it boils down to them as a professional itself.
Yeah.
Even at my workplace, I don't think I would be able to talk openly about it without my male colleagues cringing with embarrassment.
But she's a doctor, right?
Yeah, she's an anesthesiologist, so they've all been in surgery. So isn't that crazy?
Before you told me about this video, I didn't know this existed. How do you even start to seek education on it? You know, and especially as guys. A large part of our education on periods come from females in our life. We wouldn't go and seek professional advice on such a thing because as men trying to help our partners deal with these things, the education comes from them. And I'm sure they can't give us like a scientific explanation on XYZ.
I guess it's both ways, right? I think most women feel embarrassed to talk about it. Sometimes it's also creating that space where it's like not embarrassing to talk about, but it's also good for men to ask.
There's more awareness to these changes that women's bodies are going through, then we are not so likely to be self-conscious and we'll be more comfortable with ourselves.
Any final thoughts?
I think. No, I
We're very serious on this one.
no, yeah, this one is like learning.
No,
I appreciate, I can really see
Yeah.
it on your faces.
Yeah, learning. I mean, honestly, things like this, when it's not only for men. I think more women should watch this video.
I mean, like at the end of the day, it's not a one-size-fits-all read from a textbook type of thing. And especially for us guys, you know, as much as if we understand the physiology of it all, the biggest takeaway that we would have is how do we help or deal with our partner, which again is just learning through experience. So on behalf of the men of our world, all three of us learned a lot. We hope you did too. Stay tuned next time when we react to yet another How to Build a Singaporean Woman episode.